Good morning. Welcome to Gospel Bytes, where we take a bite at the Gospel for the day. Today is Wednesday, January 8th. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. Glory to you, O Lord. This is taken from Mark chapter 6, verses 45 to 52. After the 5,000 men were satiated, Jesus insisted that his disciples get into the boat and precede him to the other side toward Bethsaida, while he dismissed the crowd. When he had taken leave of them, he went off to the mountain to pray. As evening drew on, the boat was far out on the lake, while he was alone on the land. Then, seeing them tossed about as they tried to row, with the wind against them, he came walking toward them on the water. The time was between 3 and 6 in the morning. He meant to pass them by. When they saw him walking on the lake, they thought it was a ghost, and they began to cry out. They had all seen him and were terrified. He hastened to reassure them, "Get hold of yourselves. It is I. Do not be afraid." He got into the boat with them, and the wind died down. They were taken aback by these happenings, for they had not understood about the loaves. On the contrary, their minds were completely closed to the meaning of the events. The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. So, as we continue to meditate on the Feast of the Epiphany, we realize the question of people: what will happen to this child? What will this child become? And this is a child that will grow up to be able to calm the winds, make the sea obey. To the Jews, it's only God who can do that. So it's already a manifestation of who Jesus is. He's not an ordinary human. He is also God. Now, after feeding the 5,000, the the apostles went on the boat, and the wind was against them. It's the same thing. Once you discover Jesus, once you follow Jesus, the winds will go against you. There will be challenges, because that is how faith is tested. And so they they thought they were sailing alone. So that's why when Jesus was walking on water, they thought he was a ghost. They never thought that feeding of the 5,000 was an assurance that God will always be by our side. He will always look after our needs. Even in the darkest storm, He will be there. The Eucharist is prefigured in this feeding of the 5,000. It shows us that Jesus is going to break up Himself. He is going to give all of Himself so that He can always be with us. Now, it's not just about feeding, it is about staying with us. That's why they said, well, they didn't understand what that meant. They thought it was just that God feeds our material needs. That's why some people go to Jesus only when they need a job, they need food, they need material needs. Jesus is saying, no, I am with you. So even in your darkest moments, I am with you. In your most trying times, when you face persecution from others, when you face sickness, when you face being alone, I'm always there with you. That is what the Eucharist is. God with us. The word Emmanuel, God with us, is embodied in the Eucharist. When Jesus is no longer far away, He's no longer in the heavens, but He is within. As we receive Jesus in the Eucharist, He stays with us in whatever um, situation we may face. That is God with us. So let us always remember this and keep this in mind. The Eucharist is a reminder for us that Jesus will never be away. He will always be with us. I'm Father Jerry Zambrano for another edition of Gospel Bites. God bless you. Have a nice day.